With the Black Ops 4 beta right around the corner for people that have a PlayStation, since both Sony and Activision are spelled with dollar signs, you knew that at some point they were going to have to hype it up, so a trailer dropped to the official Call of Duty YouTube channel yesterday. The trailer opens up with footage from one of the 2 new maps that we're getting with the multiplayer beta, for a total of 6 if you count the ones that were playable at the reveal event for Fortnite YouTubers who used to ride the Call of Duty gravy train until it became so dry that not even cocoa butter would help it out. This to me looks like Gridlock just based on what the name means, and since they're fighting in the street like yet another protest over injustice in America. There's a glimpse of a new weapon that kind of looks like the AK-117 in Call of Duty Online, so I guess Black Ops 4 is borrowing more than just a Battle Royale mode from that game. Oh, and since everyone loved Riley, right, Apocalypse? The loyal annoyance is back in this game in the form of a specialist ability, so it'll be fun getting cheesed by super abilities again. Yay! Then it switches to what probably is the other new multiplayer map, Hacienda, since that's Spanish for big fuck off house, with this courtyard that reminds me of when I went to Spain earlier this year. 9 bangs are back for those that have epilepsy and want an excuse to skip this game. Now we get into the footage of the maps that we've already seen, like the shitty Wally ripoff there on Contraband, Michael Bay-esque explosions on Payload, and to steal even more shit from Rainbow Six Siege, a big wheels drone that could shock people into not being gay anymore. At least that's what our vice president believes. Hopefully this shot was in slow-mo, as I hate when it takes so fucking long to call in a score streak, even if it's AI soldiers with the ability to drop shot like the paratroopers in World War II. We get 10 specialists, including Nomad, who we saw before with that fucking death streak dog, and Prophet, this time with 100% more hair, as I mentioned, 6 maps with the newest 2, Gridlock and Hacienda, followed by Frequency, Contraband, Payload, and Seaside. 6 modes, of which I only know 5, since the website has even less information than the trailer does, although it does list out all the guns that are named some weird shit, because it's fucking expensive for gun naming rights, and those lovely specialist abilities that are a fucking joy to get insta-killed by. The game also promises devastating score streaks, but hopefully that they mean powerful, and not devastating as in you'll be disappointed when you use them, like in the past few Call of Duty games. I'm even skeptical of this AC-130 here, because when the voice acting was better, you actually get scared when you used to hear "Enemy AC-130 above!" compared to this tepid nonsense.
Overhead. We got this.
The beta is private, except on PC, because they're the only people not stupid enough to actually pre-order games, which contributes to how shit the gaming industry is nowadays. Oh shit, here we go, a teaser for the Blackout Battle Royale mode, which requires people to put the video into editing software to slow and pause all those trippy skips to get out some actual intel. It starts with what looks to be Turbine from Black Ops 2, with people getting into a chopper that flies around the skyscraper that we saw during the reveal. The next thing appears to be Black Ops 2's raid, followed by running into ATVs with one of the new zombies guy that nobody wants to play as, Liev Schreiber, who's now pulling an only in Battlefield moment by sniping a scrub hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride here. There's a cutscene of someone in a wingsuit, so that's probably how we'll jump into the battle space, instead of how Call of Duty Online does it with a spawn-in Mario pipe. There's another cutscene of a rib boat pulling away from Black Ops 2's cargo, and a full-on heli ATV chase that Battlefield 4 did like 5 years ago in their trailer, as well as more cutscenes with an underground tunnel that I couldn't really quite figure out. Let me know down in the comment section if you have an idea of where this is from, and the reskin Nuketown that was talked about with the buses in the middle and the buildings on each side. As the rocket speeds towards the helicopter, we get another glimpse of what is either Verrucht or Asylum from World at War, probably the former, considering that this dude looks zombie-esque, finally breaking up the Black Ops 2 nostalgia, leaving us with the fact that the beta is coming in September, but I've already played that game for years now, as I mentioned earlier. It's basically Call of Duty becoming Battlefield. It's refreshing to me, given how much Rainbow Six Siege is in Black Ops 4's multiplayer, and Titanfall was in their past few games, that Call of Duty is trying to emulate yet another FPS. Speaking of trailers, another video dropped on the official Call of Duty YouTube channel today for the Days of Summer event, or should I say D-Days of Summer, for Call of Duty World War II, which runs from today, July 31st, until August 28th. The HQ is themed for a beach party, although the quartermaster doesn't really need sunscreen with the Shades beret and bandana on his face. There will be a new map, which, as it's eloquently put in the trailer, a fucking sandbox, which is actually the name of the map too. And in a new twist of exclusivity, this map will be available first on the PlayStation 4 and will be available on Xbox One and PC 30 days later, which happens to be after the fucking event is already over, which is just a goddamn joke at this point. Much like the Black Ops 3 map Micro, you're a tiny toy soldier running around in an actual kid's sandbox, as if the game needed to remind me that it's mostly children that play it nowadays. That quartermaster bastard actually gets a magnifying glass and attempts to fry your toy soldier as you run around, since getting killed by map-based bullshit is my favorite thing in Call of Duty games. This toy soldier is devoid of any fun outfits you've opened up on the beaches of Normandy, but of course there are new fun things to play dress up with in an FPS themed for summer that totally belong in a World War II era game. There's 3 guns that you'll never get contracts for, so good luck pay to a chance to winning them in supply drops with the Rebbe Rolls SMG, Mosin Gun, 3-line sniper, and Fedorov automaton rifle, which follows the copying Battlefield theme from the Blackout trailer. There's also the return of Leprechaun Hunt from the Shamrock and Awe event, formerly locked behind a paywall dogfight mode, which makes sense since it really doesn't fucking matter what map is underneath you piloting around a plane in the sky. New zombies types called the Sizzlers, not just a shitty buffet, and Drown for the sexy look you fapped to the other day, as well as a new community challenge for the chance to get kills with each division to unlock more nonsense to water down the loot pool. In addition to the new shit for the Days of Summer event, finally, after 8 months of game time, Sledgehammer has added Master Prestige rewards in the form of beepity bops that only the most virginous will actually notice, that were shown off during Sledgehammer Games' weekly update live streams, which are almost as boring as watching paint dry. They seriously sit on the couch while screen capping and reading directly from the blog post that went live earlier in the day. Are you fucking kidding me? It's almost as bad as those former Call of Duty YouTubers that now play Fortnite that would just read Charlie Intel articles verbatim and somehow get a shitload of views. Oh, and remember how we shit on Tina back in Call of Duty Ghosts for posting her muffins on Twitter? Yeah, these ass clowns actually posted a recipe on Reddit of the, quote, stud muffins that they ate on one of these live streams. Oh my fucking god, I can't wait to see the next Cooking with Call of Duty segment. Anyways, also in the patch are multiple loadouts for Infected, because that also somehow took months of effort for almost nothing, and the possibility of Infected players having score streaks if the new chosen Infected after a quitter backs out happened to grab a care package earlier on. In the war game mode, characters will no longer be Lieutenant Dan's missing their legs, and in Search and Destroy on Ardennes Forest, the bomb won't get stuck out of the map anymore. Other than minor bug fixes, the only other major item is that shotguns will actually do proper damage against cavalry users now, because the shield has been rebalanced, even though they don't really do much damage against any other players in the first place. Speaking of which, leaked on Reddit by Mr. Jarney were some images of riot shields having camos and some new skins for your weapons, in case you forgot about how money is more important than historical accuracy to companies that have shareholders. Lastly, there was also a patch to Treyarch's current game, Black Ops 3, with the cryptic general stability improvements in the patch notes, but in actuality, the Days of Summer event will change up the featured playlist for giving out XP, as well as having limited time camos and supply drops only, because Black Ops 3 has the worst DLC model to date in a Call of Duty game, and DLC 1 is now available to all players, but only until August 28th, even though all DLC should be free after the game's life cycle, especially since everyone actually has the maps in their build due to how patches are made, but are just paywalled off to leave you out of content that you actually have on your PC or console. Speaking of paywalled off, the Back in Black reskin maps for those only on the PS4 that pre-ordered Black Ops 4 are now in the regular rotation, as well as fixing buying Call of Duty points for specialist outfits, because it's better to put new ways to buy old shit in old games than to actually give your consumers any value. Bravo fucking vo, people. This is what we get to look forward to with Treyarch's next game. Anyways, what did you guys think about the new trailer and these patches? I've been DalSchwanz27 out like a shitload of baseball players during today's trade deadline. Until next time.